Your mission is to craft a post AI curriculum, as in, okay, we have artificial intelligence now. We're moving on and taking advantage of that curriculum that produces legendary humans like Jobs, Gates, Gandhi, Edison, Musk, and Obama, not by accident, but by design. I have to say, my favorite one of all those is Obama. I would love to be more like him. I'm just saying.
I think do allow us to get there bigger, faster, cheaper. Startup, and you start growing it first year, second year, keep on doing those conferences, keep on doing those things. And then next 3 to 4 years, you grow it so much that you can sell it for at least $1 million.
Okay.
So hi everyone, I'm very happy to be with my friend Suzanne. She's my friend, she's my teacher. She taught me to believe in myself, how to talk, how to communicate, lots of things. And I'm very thankful for her to be in my life. It's almost 28, 29 years I know her. I met her on email, and part of what I'm doing in my school is to connect students from Pakistan to this part of the world so that in future they can also start companies together, connect together. And we live on planet Earth, which is very hyper connected now. Back when we met, the internet was just getting started. And I used to use email only. And then the internet came, and I tried to talk to her students once a week over the internet. It was really hard. I used to just call direct, and it was like $3 a minute to call. It was a different time. It's only 29 years ago, but it was a different time. Today, however, all of us have a video transmitter, a television, a radio channel right in our pocket. Everyone, 4 billion people have it. And but unfortunately, we're not taking full advantage of it. And technologically, humans are very, very advanced, but psychologically and culturally, we're still very fragmented. We're still divided, and we're not really taking advantage of the internet fully, which we can. And that's one of the reasons of making Rehan School, is to finally have a global school, global accreditation, global understanding, global citizens. And I have bought a new domain name for this called the planetearth.school also, so that eventually, where do you go to school? I go to school on planet Earth. Where do you go to school? So the idea is that global citizenship, and we can come out of this nationalism, and we can be human beings rather than being a Pakistani or an American or Spanish or whoever. Having said that, we are all living on spaceship Earth, and Suzanne asks really good questions, and she has been my teacher and an educator most of her life. And she has a different way of looking at things, so I'm kind of scared and at the same time excited to get her questions from her. And it'll be an honor if she could understand what I'm doing. And I think she's one of those friends who supports no matter what you do. So I'm thankful for that. But if she understands, because she's an educator herself, it'll be wonderful. And I thought, why not share it with the rest of the world also? Thank you, Suzanne, for taking the time and doing this.
Thank you. You give me way too much credit with all those things that you said I've done for you.
I wish I could get enough good at it. It's not.
I think we've been a really good influence on each other. I think it goes both ways. We're both very curious people, and we do, from the beginning when we met each other, we knew that we were world citizens. We are interested in everybody and everything. So it helps when you find other people like that. It's too easy to be closed-minded. It's so much better to be open-minded.
Do you remember our first email we exchanged?
I don't remember the first email exactly, but I do remember the students reaching out to business people, families, clubs, organizations, anything they could find on the internet. They just
I remember
said,
the
hey, here we
email.
are. We want to learn about the world. We want to learn languages, culture. So tell us, who are you? I believe that's how it began.
I remember that first email which I found of yours. It said, "Oh, hello, we are looking for friends from Israel, from India, from Malaysia," and there was no Pakistan in it. And I was so nationalistic back then, and
Yeah,
I think I remember implying that I'm from Pakistan. Can I join? And
and
I
of
think,
course,
and of course,
right.
that was the reply. Of course, you can. But for me at that time, my company name was Pakistan Computers. I was very nationalistic Pakistani 20,
Hardware.
21, 22-year-old
Yeah.
young man,
Hmm.
boy, whatever, who had zero friends from America at that time.
And around the world. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I had some
A
around
little.
the
Yeah,
world,
that's right.
but I didn't have anyone from America, I think. And I think we became very, very good friends. And
Yeah.
I used to email you almost every day.
Yeah.
And you really brought a different person out of me. So that's why I give you enough credit.
All
I mean,
right.
it's not enough because you really brought another Rehan out of me.
Yeah. Well, it was fun the whole time, and I believe that uh, it gave me more of an opportunity to, like, for example, travel around the world, get to know new people. The businesses that we work together on were all world businesses, to connect the world, such as with the DID, So I'm just saying, what I'm saying is how Rehan helped me was I wanted to do all these things. I wanted to travel the world, and I probably would have eventually, but I got to do it a whole lot sooner by uh, traveling around for the business. This is my opinion. That was something that I wouldn't have been able to do as soon as I did if it hadn't have been for me working with you. And the students loved it. And students here in Denver, they're the same way. They're very curious. I remember when you sent some beautiful shalwar kameez and different, uh, typically cultural Pakistani items, they were just enthralled and they became very interested with your country. And then they started sending messages back and forth with a few young people and some other people around the country. Um, so I think we both got a lot out of it, and we both helped many young people. And then farther on in life, I think we helped a lot of adults and businesses and organizations do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So shoot questions.
Questions. Well, I see that your mission is to craft a post AI curriculum, as in, okay, we have artificial intelligence now. We're moving on and taking advantage of that curriculum that produces legendary humans like Jobs, Gates, Gandhi, Edison, Musk, and Obama, not by accident, but by design. I have to say, my favorite one of all those is Obama. I would love to be more like him. I'm just saying.
But
What
they're all
makes
legendary in their ways
they are
because if there was no Edison, we wouldn't have light.
true.
We wouldn't have electricity.
Hmm.
If there was no job, we wouldn't have
Hmm.
a personal computer, maybe.
So many people.
And if we didn't have who else is in there, like Gandhi,
Hmm.
he was one man army. So all those people were one man armies.
Yeah.
We know them. We don't know a lot of people around them.
Yeah.
So the way we want to do that is we want to create high impact young students, like one of your students was saying, and I was explaining that before you graduate high school, 12th grade, I want you to influence 1 million people. I want you to make $1 million, and I want you to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. And she was like, how can one person do all those things?
Yeah.
And I think it's really easy. It's just work. Just like we work really hard to become a doctor, an engineer, a dentist, a rocket scientist, we can actually work towards those goals. And if you put in 2 to 4 hours a day, the momentum will get you there in 8 to 10 or 12 years, maybe, because I know exactly what to do. I've done it with my life. And I think instead of taking 30 years, I can compress it down to 5 to 10 years of time. and then
Help them to not make the mistakes that we might have made.
correct. And then on top of that, we didn't have the laptops when we started. We didn't have the internet like this, high-speed internet when we
Right.
started. We didn't have the AI when we started. Whereas now we have all those three
Tools.
phenomenal tools,
Mhm.
which, if you remember, Archimedes said, "Give me a long enough lever, and I can pick the whole world with my one hand."
Mm.
And that's what has happened with the social media, with the
Okay.
computer, with the internet, with AI, that we have so much power in our
Mhm.
hands,
Mhm.
which is kind of easy to get to that $1 million or a
Yeah.
million people. How would you get 1 million followers without Facebook? How would you get to talk to 1 million people, 10
Yeah.
million people without the internet? How would you
Right.
get compressed to the point information without AI? So all
Right.
those things, I
Mhm.
think, do allow us to get there bigger, faster, cheaper.
Mm. Well, do you have any examples of students who have accomplished this? And how did they
I
do
think
it?
I would be one of the students.
And how about others? Like, do you have a couple of names that
We don't have, because we just started,
just started? Okay. All right.
but we do have examples. I could say
Maybe people that are
Sman
already pretty successful.
Chugtai would be one
Okay.
in Pakistan. Um, I don't want to name others because they have done a lot of work on their own also. But he
was.
pushed. I had to push him a lot.
He's a really good example. Okay.
I think he would be a very good example.
Because I think people would love to go. They don't have to like just look at his social media and see how he did it, and see how you did it. Whatever social media you're on, they could go look at it. I think that would really help
Yeah,
them.
Usman
Your
Chugtai,
history.
myself,
Perfect.
others. The similar path would be Azad Chaiwala.
Okay.
In Pakistan, Hisham Sarwar. They are on the similar path, Sunny Ali.
Okay.
So all the stuff which they're using
Mm.
is going to be taught in a very different manner
Okay.
with a process in this school.
Mm. Okay. Um, well, when you were talking with the students, you described the typical day at Rehan School, so that you mentioned you would be using online video like Zoom or something like that. And they might be sitting in different places all over the world, but they're in like this classroom through the internet. And you were describing to them a typical day when like they get up, they're at home, they get up. Can you give an example of a typical day that's,
So we have physical campuses. We have 5 physical campuses,
Okay.
Which holds up to 500 students each.
Okay.
Our biggest school is bigger than your school.
Okay.
I have also acquired a 200-acre space
Okay.
where I'm building a Disneyland-like school. So there's a physical version of the school.
Oh, okay.
But the online version of the school is you get up, you sit on the Zoom call for at least 5 hours.
Okay.
And there are breaks on it. There's like COVID time. So there are breaks in it. There's games. There's meditation. There's osoji, like in Japan. You clean the house. You do yoga. You watch TED Talks. You create videos. You do podcasts together. Then you have break rooms. It's all within that space, and that has been going on for now almost a year and a half. We started with 3 students. Now we have around 150 students on the Zoom version of the school, and it's going on 4 times a day. So it starts 8 a.m. London time, 8 a.m. New York time, 8 a.m. Karachi time, different time zones. And then we have created so when we started the school, we had no idea what we were doing. It's an experimental.
You just knew what you wanted to accomplish, but not how to do it yet. Yeah.
Right. So we had a lot of people who were leaving us in 6 months to a year because they all came for different reasons.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we tell them is that your kid would be starting to make money while he's a student. So he will be able to pay his own tuition while he's a student, which Harvard, MIT, Stanford, none of the American high schools offer
that.
So we offered that, but they were I was wrong about the timeline. I thought I could do it in 6 months, and I think it'll take me 2 to 3 years for the
Okay.
first batch to get there. Why? Because they came from a background of no computing, no
Right.
social media, no English,
Right.
no internet, and
Right.
all of a sudden they
Yeah.
learn all this. They're very quick, as you said, they're sponges. They learn
Yes.
very quickly,
They do.
but they also get bored very
They
quickly.
do. Yeah.
So they don't have the discipline of doing the stuff which they don't want to do.
Mm.
They don't only want to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So we have designed a foundation levels class now, which is going for 180 hours. And then once you finish those, then we enroll you in our full-time school. So it's only an
Okay.
hour a day after school program
All right.
where you learn AI, you learn social media, you learn confidence,
Mm.
you learn to write code, you learn to make apps.
Mm.
It's only an hour a day. And then if you finish that and you feel that this school is for you,
Mm.
then we enroll you for 4 hours a day.
Okay.
Because we had amazing students who did fantastic, and then 6 months to a year later they said we're leaving. It was like cutting out my heart because they were so good, and I
Yeah.
could see they would do amazing if they only stayed.
Stay longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were like, no, we want results now.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to emphasize or?
No, I mean, it's
I would
basically
say
up to you what questions you might have. Since you don't have any, that's
those
fine.
actually were my questions, and I think you've answered probably typically a lot of people's questions.
Yeah.
I
I would
guess.
love to enroll. We started a teacher institute, a separate teacher institute,
Okay.
where we again teach social media, AI, coding, podcasting, and that builds so much confidence in these teachers. It's unbelievable.
I agree.
Then we connect those teachers along the border. So Pakistani teachers connect with teachers from US, from Dubai, from UK. And the same, I would love to see teachers from this country connect with teachers from the UK. And that normally happens over when you go somewhere, or you go to a conference. But in our school, we use LinkedIn to connect out, reach out, then we request them a podcast.
Right.
So they also start to see things in a very different paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the shifting of the paradigm becomes easier because their friends are doing it. I'm not telling, you're not telling. Right. Their friends are doing it, and they learn by observation. There's lots of peer-to-peer learning going on there. So we have the Teacher Training Institute. We're now enrolling in the summer program. We're enrolling in an hour-a-day program, and we're enrolling in the full-time program. So those are the 4 or 5 things we're doing. Anybody who wants to join in, they're more than welcome. Our target is only 50 students in the US for now, not more, because we want to customize. This country is different than what we're doing in Pakistan.
Sure.
We will pivot, we will learn, we will add, we will remove, and then we will take on more students. So anybody who wants to help us enroll more students, that'll be great.
Yeah. Well, I think one gentleman that you spoke to today is very, very interested. So I hope you exchange contact information, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think? Is it achievable to make $1 million? How would it change the life of imagine you finished your high school, or your granddaughter just finished high school, and she was already influencing 1 million people positively. Yeah. She was already in a Guinness Book of World Record to grow your recognition part. Right. The impact part is through the followers. Right. And then if she had $1 million, she would buy her own house, she could go on a world trip, she could have passive income. She doesn't really have to work anymore. Right. And now that she can choose what she wants to do with her life. How do you think would that impact people's lives when that happens?
I think people like her, they would probably not spend all that money and just travel. They would travel, but like her goal, so each child, student, adult, whatever, everybody has a goal. So her goal really, she wants to be famous with her music, and she's already got gigs, all over the United States. She's about to have her, what do you call that, first album party. So if she were able to figure out a way to earn $1 million, she would invest it into that. Invest it into getting traveling abroad and playing her music and just getting more famous. So, but my grandson, he's really good at basketball, so he would probably invest somehow so that he could take that somewhere. So I guess they're just saying.
Would you like to learn how we make the $1 million?
You tell us. They want to know. I think you should tell them.
Okay. So what we do is we have figured out 120 problems which are faced by at least 10 million people.
Okay.
And then we request the student to add a last name to their name related to that problem. So for example, a student who wants to be a bluegrass musician, for example, or in Pakistan want to solve the water issue.
Yeah.
So they will become Suzanne Bowen Watersmith.
Okay.
So now anybody you meet, they get a business card. They say, the first thing, normally when we meet a child, they say, oh, wow, that's amazing. So where do you go to school? And which grade are you in?
Yeah.
What's your favorite teacher? There's the normal 3 famous questions.
Right.
But now, since this student has a watersmith in the end, they're going like, watersmith? What's that all about?
Yeah.
So now, instantly, they have an opening asking, what are you going to talk about?
Yeah.
How do we make them a watersmith? In 6th grade, we show them a TED Talk every day related to water. Now, after watching that TED Talk about water, they make their own TED Talk or explainer video and an article and explaining what they understood, and then they publish it.
Okay.
After publishing, they tag the person who gave the original TED Talk, request them for connection on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and request them for a podcast.
There you go.
Now you do this 200 times a year. Every single day you're watching a TED Talk about water. You're connecting to an influencer in the world about water.
There you go.
You are talking and doing podcasts with that person who is in that water space.
Okay.
A year later, you are already a small micro influencer who knows 200 people in the water space.
Yeah.
Next year, you do a conference online related to water.
Right.
Then you do another conference and you apply to 50 conferences in the world as volunteer.
Oh.
Can I come in and volunteer for you all?
Help, yeah. And then make
related
new
to
connections.
Water. Yep. So connection. For 3 years, they do this. And the 3rd year, they throw a physical conference on water in our school or wherever they can.
Okay.
And then again, they invite all their friends who are in the water space. Now they're already a micro influencer on water.
Right.
We also teach them, because in Pakistan, 30 million kids don't go to any school. And a normal tuition fees in Pakistan is $15 a month.
Okay.
So we want these kids to start earning $100 a month in 6th grade.
Okay.
And the way they do it is they learn Canva, they learn video editing, they learn other stuff, and they become virtual assistants and freelancers using these tools to start earning $100 a month in 6th grade.
Okay.
In 7th grade, we upgrade them to $200 a month. In 8th grade, we upgrade them to $500 a month, which half goes to the school, half goes to them.
Okay.
This way, more people can start similar schools in the world, because it's now in Pakistan especially profitable to run a school.
Okay.
In 9th grade, we help them start a startup based on water, because they have all the network, the knowledge, the information, the friends who are in the water space. And because they know hundreds of people in the water space, they've done hundreds of water podcasts, it's natural for them, if they start a podcast or they start a business related to water, what exactly the mentors can tell them in that network. They can tell them, you know what, if you do this, Suzanne, this is going to make you really rich. So you start that startup and you start growing it. 1st year, 2nd year, keep on doing those conferences, keep on doing those things. And then next 3 to 4 years, you grow it so much that you can sell it for at least $1 million.
Okay.
That's the path towards the $1 million. Because now you're not learning math, you're not learning science, you're only learning about water. Okay. And in order to learn about water, if you need to learn physics, you need to learn biology, you need to learn chemistry, you learn it on the way, because now AI can teach you on demand, whatever you want to learn.
Okay.
There are new software coming in which generate instantly new YouTube videos about explainer videos about whatever you want to understand. So for
Okay.
example, in Khan Academy, you had to go and search for pre-recorded videos.
Mm-hmm.
The new tools literally make a brand new video for you, cartoon for you, movie for you, explaining
Okay.
whatever you want to understand.
Okay.
So the learning process
Mm-hmm.
is totally changing as
Okay.
we speak because these new tools are coming every day.
Right.
What do
Very
you think?
cool. Yes. So how can people get in touch with you? What's the
Just go to
contact?
rehan.school, www.rehan.school, and join our classes. Go to Facebook,
Okay.
YouTube. Every class is online. It's public, so people can actually see what's going on. It's not like we're not hiding anything.
Mm.
It's also open source, so anybody who likes the stuff can copy and adapt in their own school.
Very good. Sounds lovely.
Thank you.
Giving people opportunities that they didn't realize were available.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yep.
All right. Any more questions?
I don't have any more. I think like I said a while ago, I think I asked maybe the kind of questions people would want to know.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Suzanne.
All right. Very cool.